mean, it depends on the timeline of the Assembly and the Senate, but
Yeah.
hopefully by February 1st, we'll have that actual
That
number,
number.
which includes, the quarter less.
Less,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then on February 15th, what we will have is we will have cut the lists. Your walk list, basically your walk list, and it will help you go to door, and they'll be cut by party. So if you're running on a Republican, on the Republican line, then you will get a walk list for the Republicans. If you're running on the Democrat, there'll be a list cut of all those registered people in that party.
Yeah, that whole process has to happen before you circulate your first petition on February 26th.
When are you doing that?
You can set a date yet.
Early voting in New York State. I think we're one of the last ones in the United States to actually do this, but we're, as Senator Zillmer Myrie says, we're going from last to first. And so the way the law has been written out is that we will do early voting for 9 days. And so it will start on October 26th, and it will go through November 3rd. So the law requires that you have to include 2 weekends to give the opportunity for people that are traveling or out of state to come back on the weekend to vote. And then there will be 5 weekdays to vote, 5 days during the week that you will vote. We're also moving to something very different, which are electronic poll books. So you're not going to be going in to vote, and they'll be like scrolling through all these books looking for your name. Everything will be on a tablet now. Which is, you played with them, didn't you? They're pretty cool. Come on.
Interesting.
So,
As long as they keep them hack proof.
yeah.
There you go.
So what will happen is they'll designate times during these 9 days. 2 days have to be open until 8 p.m. to allow for commuters and people that have a distance. And by law, what's going to happen is you have to have a poll site for every 50,000 voters. So in Dutchess County, what we're doing is we're picking 4 sites: Rhinebeck, Washington, Beekman, and Fishkill, and it's strategic according to the population.
What's your registration? Just so you know what you do.
$199.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Dutchess has a $199 voter registration.
So we picked 4 sites, but we're also including 1 early voting site at the Board of Elections, because many people will be coming in and back and forth, and we said, we're not going to send you out after you've come in to take care of paperwork and then send you over to like Fishkill, so you can vote right there at the Board of Elections. And so what will happen is that each night the results will be sent to the Board of Elections. There will be no disclosure on the results of early voting until after the polls close on November 5th.
Unless you can take results.
No, it's blocked. So there'll be nothing reported.
I don't think you can tabulate.
It's going to be set that.
There's no tabulation.
No tabulation whatsoever. So there'll be, some states, I don't know if you'll notice, as soon as the polls close, there'll be like 3 or 4% that will be reported, and like, how the heck did you get that reporting so quickly? It's from early voting. But we are not going to be doing that. So once 9 o'clock closes, the polls close at 9 o'clock, then everything will start to be counted, including early voting.
So when you go in, you'll use the same machines that we were used to using on election day?
Yeah. What's going to happen is you'll walk in, you'll walk up to one of the inspectors, you'll give your name and a date of birth or your street. They'll pump it into the tablet, and all of your information will come up, and then they'll turn the tablet around to you and you have to sign, just like you would sign a book.
And you can go to any of these sites, you don't have to
You
go
could go to any site in the county, yeah.
Well, that's,
We're doing that.
right. So just to be clear on this early voting law, it's up to the county boards how to present the early voting. The requirement from the state is 1 early voting center, 1 poll site for early voting per 50,000 voters. There's a state requirement for non-tabulation of early votes until after the polls close on election day. And then the rest is, the county boards have some leeway in how they set up the rest.
So it's, you really, a lot of it may not be uniform throughout the state.
No,
Correct.
it's going to depend per county.
Okay.
So I can speak for my county that it will be, you will be able to go to any of the 5 sites to vote. Because the entire voter roll will be on the tablet. Yes.
So the electronic books, that's definite throughout the state now? Or is it county by county that they approved
It's county
it?
by county, depending on the cost of those electronic poll books.
That's not mandated yet either.
And
I know Ulster County, they're trying to get it. As of last week, they hadn't yet, and they would, had their fingers
We haven't
crossed.
decided yet.
have you met with your county executive?
We haven't decided yet.